Hello, welcome to our last class. This is Introduction to Drawing. So today we are going to be working on faces. We are going to use, instead of pencil, we are going to use, for at least in this part, and just to show you how to do this marker. So we start with these two circles. The circle in the upper part that I'm creating is bigger than the circle that is in the lower part. The circle in the upper part, uh, you will divide in your mind. Later we are going to do that again as in half. And then you juxtapose these two circles and you have the face already. Okay, so you're gonna see. So and then you measure more or less the center of this circle, and then you have two half of that. Okay, and we are going to divide that in four quarters. And then there is a little of measurement that you are going to do. I'm going to show you how to do, but this is basically okay what you have. And then you imagine you have okay these lines that go down from the eyes, okay, which is going to give you the size of the lips. And then you can have whatever you want. Okay, it's a very basic way of drawing faces. Okay, having the lips, the nose, the ears is easy. Okay, now what I want you to do is to take a moment. I'm going to stop the video, and you are going to take your compass. If you don't have a compass, take something, whatever circle you have, whatever shape of circular shape that you have around you. And I want you to do exactly what we have done before. Okay, two circles. One is going to be bigger than the other. But now, for sure, we are like measuring the center, and in the center you make a cross. Okay, like south to north, east to west. And then each of these lines that we are going to cross, you are going to divide that in quarters. Okay, so we have that, and it doesn't have to be exactly. Okay, so we have that, and we are going to divide that in half. Okay, this quarter, each quarter is going to be divided in half, and every single quarter is going to be divided, okay, in also in quarters. So, and then from this quarter, okay, we are going to create this little circle. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it's more or less the idea. And with that, okay, you have all the measurements. Okay, so you do the same thing. You divide that in different quarters, and again quarter quarter. Okay, half 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 half. Then you see these quarters that I am dividing right now are for the eyes. uh, and then is the center of the big circle you are going to have. Okay, the front of the face, and then the started of the hair. Okay, so okay, now we get 7B. We have been working before with 2B or HB, and we start sketching, we start drawing, okay, what is going to be the shape of our face. So you will have this video, and I can repeat this many times as you require. Okay, so we have the shape of the face, and this is not a female or male face. This is just a very standard face. Okay, there are going to be changing depending of the style of hair and depending of some variations of shape. That's going to depend of every single person. So we have these um, quarters, and we use two of these quarters, okay, in this half of the face to make the eyes there. So very easy. Okay, so you have this very elemental way of doing eyes. Same thing in the other part. Okay, so what we have is a kind of the same size of one eye is going to be what we have as empty space for the nose. Okay, so then we have the Okay, there we have the eyebrows there, and the other, you know that, well, we can just have a class of, expression of faces and all that, but this is not what we are doing to do today. What we are going to do is just, a very 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 elemental way of doing faces, and then, okay, we will do some little details, so make sense for you, and we are going to measure, okay, the nose. See that later I'm gonna erase this, and I'm gonna do a nose that is a little bigger later, but I want you to see the change. Okay, so and that in order to tell you that those measurements can have variation depending of the person. Okay, so there is a kind of a standard, but there are some changes that you can do depending of the person that you want to portray. So, but then we have in this lower part, okay, we have the lips, okay, and the nose, and for sure you see, the size, as I said before, the size of the lips is going to go in relation with the eyes. So from the eyes you trace imaginary, a line to the lips, and you have a face there. And do probably some of the ears. So you see that the ears also can have variations, and there is most of the cases there is a relation between the nose and the ears. I'm gonna do what I told you later is I'm gonna erase the nose, and you're gonna see how it's going to change a little bit. Okay, so I am just doing the eyes, the hair, sorry, and now I am gonna take my eraser and I am gonna erase, okay, the nose, and you are going to see. As I'm using a very dark pencil, so you still see the nose that I drew before, but again, that is okay, because I want you to see how it changed the expression of the face. So these little variations, okay, of the size and how long is the nose, or the shape of the lips, etc., change the whole expression of the face that we are drawing. Same thing, with how our neck is drawn, how big it is. So if it is a strong one, or if it is a very like tiny and thin one, those things count, and count a lot. So we can still transform, okay, and keep transforming this shape, and make magic. So you see, it is a kind of a very fun exercise that you can, the same face, you can transform that, and in many different ways. And if I were using a pencil like HB or 2B, it will be easy to erase, and you're not going to see the lines. But in this case, I want you to see. So I'm modifying a little again the hair, putting a little more of hair there, and so you see how things change from the original face that we had to the one that we are doing right now. Okay, so and also we can work on some like makeup, and put some glasses, and if it is a male, we can work on the mustache, and a lot of different things. Yeah. So that is the very basic way of doing faces without problem. Okay, so now you know how it is, and it is not rocket science. It's just follow some procedure. So now uh, I'm gonna show you, okay, how to modify a little bit. When we have a face that is in 3/4, yeah, that's me. Okay, so what I have show you about these circles are exactly the same thing. Okay, just you have to put a little bit, okay, a little bit on the top of that. This is the sketch, okay, of what we did in the first one, the first exercise. And now, okay, I am going to show you how those measurements that we have before are repeated in my own face. Uh, so we have that, and I cross that just for you to see that. Just because of the little variation of the angle of the face, but you will have to work on these faces. Okay, um, mostly doing exactly the same thing. It's just the measurement between the eyes can have a little variations, but in a way is just the same. So you're going to see now, for example. Okay, so you do the two circles, okay, and you cross the lines and you do this. So you have the lips there. You have, okay, the shape of the face, and if you follow, okay, you have the one eye, two eye, nose, lips, and you have that. But this is just an explanation. We are going to do a frontal face, okay? So, and for that, I ask you to have your own picture, okay? So, yeah, that's me again. So what we are going to work is with the HB, and not using the compass. I am going to start working on these two circles, and we are going to start working on the first big circle, and then doesn't have those circles to be perfect. Okay, so we cross these lines. We are going to do the same division of the half and half, quarter, quarter, and then each quarter is going to be divided in another quarter. Okay, and then we have, okay, the smaller circle in the lower part of the face, and we have the division exactly of the same thing. Okay, so we have, with that, we have the lower part of the face, and I think at this point you clearly see where I am going. So we have one eye there and the other eye there, and we have this distance of like one eye between my eyes that's going to give some room to the nose. So where then we measure, okay, where the hair is going to be. Okay? So we start working with that. So we keep working on the shape of the face. For sure, this is not going to be exactly my portrait, but I am gonna make an effort for this to look as closer as possible in this fast demonstration. Okay, so be thoughtful about proportions. For sure, my proportions are not exactly the ones that I show you in the drawings before. So there are going to be some variations. Same thing with how open my eyes are going to be. I do have a lazy eye, so one of my eyes is look uh, um, bigger than the other. But those particularities have to be um, shown in a way that is not too obvious, okay, and that is good, because if those particularities are going to, one eye is bigger than the other, or the I don't know, the one ear is lower than the other, if we exaggerate those things, the risks that we are going to take is that our portrait is going to look like a caricature instead than a portrait. At the very beginning, that is okay, but if we want to advance and evolve in our skills, we have to try to observe. I think that one of the most interesting part of drawing is that we improve our capacity of observing because we have to take a moment, observe, okay? Even if we have the picture in front of us, we have this tendency of repeating some kind of pattern that we have in our mind, and we don't see really what we have in front of us. Even for me, that I'm trying to teach, and I you know I learned this in School of Art. It is hard for me not to repeat the pattern that I have, the idea that I have of a face when I am doing a face. So I have to step back and try to see, try to observe. So what I'm doing is now I just keep drawing, okay, with an pencil, the 2B or 2 or HB, is something that is going to be kind of easy for me to erase if I make a serious mistake, and go again without destroying the paper, or um, um, that it's going to be too obvious that it was a line before there. Okay, because of the position of the picture that I took myself, I don't see my two ears, and now I'm gonna go for the kind of shape of my hair. So I go on the top, okay, of the forehead, and you see, the spaces that I have, and you can also, you can take your pencil and just in front of your picture, or your mirror, you have a mirror, just with your pencil, okay, make this measurement of your face, or the face that you want to portray. So now that I have more or less, okay, my lines that I am kind of convinced, I erase, okay, all these lines that I don't want, finish erasing, and now I will change my pencil, and I'm gonna start shading. Okay, so I'm gonna use now the 4B, okay, which is kind of medium dark pencil, and I start working on that. Okay, so this is a process that is, and I want you to take a lot of time on doing this. With this pencil, you can reshape, create reshape some of the lines, create some areas of medium dark. Fix, as I said, fix some of the mistakes and that are too obvious for you, and start shading. Okay, I'm gonna go for my eyebrows there, and the other. Some of the things that, for example, I will change, and not in this moment, so is that the distance of my eyes, for example, maybe is smaller than the distance that I draw there. So in a next drawing, maybe I will change that. Not now, because I want to take advantage of the time that we have. But you see, for example, what you see on your screen, my left eye okay, is probably closer to my nose than what I have in my drawing. But I'm gonna start. I'm gonna keep just shading the inside of the eye. Always, always, always are going to be those areas are going to be um, in most of the cases are going to be darker, and even more if you are wearing glasses. I am, and most of the people that have used glasses, for example, you're going to notice that they have those areas a little to the back. People that don't use glasses, they have the eyes a little more like outside. The eyes a little more outside, not the eye. And so we keep working on the uh, tone of the skin, and we keep doing that, and I invite you to do the same thing as I am doing right now. The nose, for example, is going to be a little lighter, and, and in my picture, for example, is natural light, but if you can play a lot with the shading, depending of the light you have, you can easily work. It's the same thing that we did with the recommendation that I gave you when you take a photograph. If you wanted to draw some still alive, that you put a lamp and a source of light that is intense from one angle. Okay, from one side you're going to have more shadows, and you're going to have easy ways of create the illusion of volume. It works exactly the same thing. So we work with the same resource of claroscuro. However, here my light was basically frontal from a window that I have close to me, so it is a little hard, the definition. Uh, Plus, I'm always too uh, red, so my skin is like that. So however, I make this variation of the black and white and resolve a lot of problems. So we work on the eyes, okay, and then we are going to go back to some details with a darker color, with a darker pencil, uh, but just we keep shading. If you want to do a portrait that is very prosaic and really you want to get into this, there is a way of really copying without copying, which is you have your picture, and on the top of your picture, what you're going to do is you are going to draw a grid. Okay, so you have these squares, and you literally you copy every single square. That way you divide the face in many little parts that are going to be easier, okay, to not only to draw, but to get a identical angle and details. That process is a process that they use for moving, for example, one sketch to a bigger size. So when artists, for example, for instance, when artists they do a sketch of something, a sketch which is small, 20 by 20, and you go to I don't know, 70 or 100 inches or something like that. So what they do is the sketch, they put a grid on this on the top of that, and they copy every single square, okay, on the big one. So we that is easy for murals. They do exactly the same thing. Here, as we are working very small and very fast, I just wanted to give you the very basic concept of how to work in, a face. So the neck, okay, and the chin, okay, the forehead. I'm changing the pencil now. I'm using the 6 or 7. It can be even the 8 B. We were working with the 4 before, so whatever you have in front of you, which is darker than the one that you were using before. Uh, and so in this one, in this drawing, we have been using 3 pencils. One, the lighter one for drawing, and then for the medium gray, it can be, I use 4B. I think that it will be even better to use the 3B, probably. Even the 2B is okay. And then you move to the 4, 6B. And for the final details, okay, you use the darker one, that darkest you have, that can be 8, um, 8B or 7B or 6B, depending on what you have. Okay, so I'm just doing some of the remarking, some of the highlighting some of the dark parts that I consider myself that need a little more of work. And so, for example, I didn't consider in this one. Okay, so you see the eyes. I didn't consider eyelashes or a lot of other details. Uh, I, I'm gonna work on my facial hair. Okay, just a little bit, and you see all these little details start giving some character to the face. So changing again for something 7B, something a little darker, and with that I'm gonna work on my hair, or on the hair of whatever uh, portrait that you are doing. I'm doing a very flat, fast, um, dark color, and then I will go trying to create the waves of the hair. Okay, so I'm doing the hair right now. You can really do better than what I'm doing right now. It's fast, but you have, I guess, you have the idea of, you get with the concept that is behind my explanation. Okay. So my rounds are kind of funny, and I will change, and now again I'm gonna go with the darkest one, 8 AB I'm using. Okay, but if you don't have that, you don't have to use that. Just use, you know, the darkest one that you have in front of you. Okay, so we are mostly done. So this t-shirt is black, or was black, so I'm using, okay, that one. Now my glasses, okay, so glasses are very important. In my case, a part of my peculiarities. I have wear glasses since I was 4 years old, and so it's like part of my body at this point. And I'm trying to replicate the shape of the glasses. Okay, consider, you know, not only the shape, but the surface, how much surface they occupy in your face, and how important art. Okay, so we have one already drawn, and now we have the other one. Okay, we are finishing this, but not really finishing this, and it's probably a lot more work. And now we are going to make some kind of shadows, because the glass also has some color in it, but we have the shiny part that I haven't done, and you saw what I did. Okay, so we do this and we are finishing. There is a lot of details that we can work. We can still improve, but those details probably are going to take more time. So as you see, for example, what I saw, you know, the distance between one of my eyes was not exactly the same, or how big my nose is. For example, my nose is a little more. It's a little, probably a little thinner than this, the one that I draw, but still there is some resemblance in the picture with the drawing, but it's portrait is a work in process all the time. So thank you, and we are